Okay, we're going to begin right now at 7 o'clock. And first of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming. I'm literally in my living room, and my laptop is on an ironing board because I don't have a podium, so I can speak to you, so I can be up a little bit higher. So I want to thank you for coming tonight. Again, over the last few days, there's been a lot of things going on. Actually, the last few months and the last few weeks, you seniors are going to have a lot to remember for 2020. It reminds me when I was going into high school in 1968, 69 area. We had a lot going on in the city at that time, very similar to what's going on right now. But I'm so glad you're here tonight. So glad you're here with your parents. And again, you're going to see all your teachers in just a few minutes who are going to give you the various awards, which I'll explain a little bit more in detail in a little bit. Again, we normally would do this, as I mentioned to some of you, we had our April 25th meeting. We had our mandatory meeting with the parents and all the students. Unfortunately, we can't have 182 students looking at you right now, but this is going to be taped. So if they want to watch it and you want to watch it down the line, it's fine. It's the first time I'm looking at Hecker and Fitzgerald when they're not together. I looked at my screen and I'm in the middle of them. So that's the first time in 3 years I've seen that. So that's pretty good. And again, also too, I had mentioned before that I was going to drop off the medals at your home. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that the way things are going. So we're going to have a lot of options. If you want to come and pick it up, you can. If you eventually would like me to drop it off prior to graduation, I'd be more than happy to. So I do have some other things that we have that you may have left behind that we want to give you. So I'll be sending an email out. So just look at it. Make sure you're looking at your St. Lawrence emails every day, even if there's nothing that pertains to you. But please make sure that you're looking at that. You're paying attention. Many of you have gotten texts tonight from me or various other things. Keep an eye on those because as graduation approaches, especially for our valedictorians, there's going to be more and more information, and especially for our award winners to recognize you. Also, I gave a lot of you I sent all of you a program that you can follow. That the information that's in that program will go into the graduation program with your name on it. So you will, you don't have to keep that draft that I gave you. It will be in the graduation program that you'll get on June 28th. And, you can have that for a keepsake for a long time. So as we begin this evening, I want to begin everything with the prayer. And I'm going to ask Deacon Ed to come on in and lead us in prayer. Deacon Ed.
Good evening. We gather today in the holy presence of God to give thanks. Heavenly Father, we acknowledge that everything that is good comes from you. All the praises, awards, and accolades that are given today are meant to be given back to you. It is because of your grace and your guidance that we have come this far. Generous God, you freely give each of us uncountable gifts and talents. Help us to be good stewards of these, and by your example, may we generously share everything that we have for the benefit of all. We ask your blessings upon these young people who we honor today for their achievements. Enable each of them to draw upon the wisdom and experience of these last 4 years as they respond to the questions and concerns of tomorrow. We ask you to support our honored student leaders as they work to make a difference in the world. Enlighten them, guide them, and keep them in your loving care always. To this, let us say amen.
Amen.
St. Lawrence, pray for us. Blessed Edmund, pray for us. Mary, Queen of Peace,
pray for us.
Live Jesus in our hearts. Forever.
Thank you, Deacon Ed. Tonight, during this recognition night and senior awards night, you're going to receive an award for the great things you have done at St. Lawrence. Hard. You young men and young women this evening will be recognized by St. Lawrence because you chose to participate and represent your school because you were willing to do what was hard. Make no mistake, these awards are not handouts. They are meaningful and real representations of an effort beyond the usual, of work that excels beyond the ordinary, effort of people your age. These awards acknowledge that you are very special to us, and they tell the world that as far as we are concerned, the world should sit up and take notice of you.
Christopher.
These awards are symbols of which you have worked. No one gave you anything. These are awards which you have earned, awards you are due because you fulfilled the high standards they represent. These awards recognize your ability, your effort, and your integrity as leaders at St. Lawrence. I want to thank the parents and the teachers here this evening. I know how proud you are of these young men and women. I am very proud of them as well. They represent what is best about St. Lawrence. Congratulations, and go Vikings! All right, our first award this evening is our gold, silver, and bronze medal for student leadership. These awards are given to students involved in student council, partnerships, and overall school leadership as recognized by our Director of Leadership and Mission, Mrs. Laura Storino. So at this time, I ask Mrs. Storino to come up or to come on and award these medals. Ms. Storino.
Hi, good evening to all our students or alum and their families. So our first award is the Gold Leadership Award. And this award goes to Myron Lewis. Myron has such a positive and confident air about him while still maintaining humility. He has a determination and drive that is admired by both staff and students. No one can tell Myron that he cannot do something. He is a hard worker and he always has the best interest of others in mind. It was an honor to be able to meet Myron and be able to work with him. And I've already told him that he has to come back as a guest speaker, so he knows that's in the plans. So he is truly a positive presence throughout the school building, and he has a natural ability to lead. It is for these reasons that I'm honored to present the Gold Leadership Award to Myron Lewis.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, our next award is the Silver Leadership Award. Layla is a confident and strong young woman. Her leadership qualities and ability to influence others in a positive way is extremely impressive. When Layla starts something, she's going to finish it, and the results are always of superior quality. We can't wait to see what you accomplish in college and the change you create in the world. It's for these reasons that I'm honored to present Layla with the Silver Leadership Award. Our last award for leadership is the Bronze Leadership Award, and this goes to Luke. Luke Baldwin is a quiet leader who leads by example. He puts his head down, dives in, and works as hard as he can to be successful. Luke also earned the respect of his classmates, teachers, and coaches because of his dedication and his loyalty. Luke has a willingness to help out whenever he is needed and does so with excellent follow-through and pride. It is for these reasons that I'm honored to present the Bronze Leadership Award to Luke Baldwin. Congratulations to all our leaders.
Thank you, Mr. Reno. Once again, what I didn't maybe make clear is these are the awards that senior teachers, okay, or people at our directors or at administration give out to the students. So they're recognized by their teachers. This next award is given to the male and female student athlete. This is the Vincent J. Dowd Memorial Medal for Athletic Proficiency and Scholastic Achievement. The award recognizes a student athlete who participate in 2 or more varsity sports while continuing their excellence in the classroom. Mr. Dowd was the first athletic director of St. Lawrence High School. To give out this award is Mr. Tim Chandler, athletic director, who will again give this presentation. Tim?
Thank you, Mr. Muting, and good evening to everybody. Congratulations to all of our seniors receiving awards this evening, and I'm honored to be able to present the Vincent J. Dowd Memorial Medal. This was honestly one of the toughest decisions that our department has faced in terms of the quality senior student athletes that we had, in terms of their success on the field and in the classroom. But our recipients this year, first our male recipient, Pete Stock. Pete, just a phenomenal leader on the athletic field. 4-year soccer player, 3-year basketball, 2 years for volleyball. At the top of his class, just again, not only contributed to his team's athletic success, being part of the first ever soccer team to go downstate, but his leadership and never an issue on the court, on the field, or in the classroom. A true role model, somebody for all of our student athletes to look up to. So congratulations, Pete. Now for our female recipient, Amelia Flores. Congratulations, Amelia. Again, another multi-sport athlete. She was 1 sport short of being a 4-year, 3-sport student athlete. So she played 4 years of softball, 4 years of tennis, and 3 years of bowling. Very successful in all of those sports. Our top bowler the past couple of years, earning all conference advancing out of the regional. She's our first ever tennis player to advance downstate on the girls' side, and then was a key contributor to our softball team as well. That won a conference championship last year and was poised to do some great things this spring. And again, Amelia did an outstanding job in the classroom. Great, at the top of her class as well. And another, young lady that we never had to worry about being a discipline problem, represented us with true class, and just the epitome of what a student athlete is. So congratulations, Amelia, and congratulations once again, Pete. Thank you.
Okay, can I throw Mr. Chandler in the bullpen and get some of the people that I really want to see up front, and throw Mr. Grannon in the bullpen and Ms. Walsh, or put them on page 2, Mr. Clemens, if you can do that? Okay, if you can't,
you guys could just stop showing your video, please, and then when Mr. Muting asks you to talk, you can go ahead and reshare it.
Okay. Our next award is the Brother Dennis Patrick Dunn Award for Excellence in Business, given to the student who excels in the business environment. Brother Dunn was a business marketing and economics teacher at St. Lawrence. He also is currently on our board. He was a mentor of mine back in the 70s. He's a great person. He is currently president of Palma School in Salinas, California. Mrs. Laura Storino, Director of Mission and Leadership and Business Teacher, would like to present this award. Ms. Storino.
Okay, I can't show my video. Mr. Clemens, if you could show my video, or if not, I'm sure everybody can hear me. So this award is going to Jenna Spala. Jenna was one of the strongest students in our business class. Besides her exceptional level of academics, I chose Jenna because she was always the first person to participate in class. She takes pride in her work. She is not afraid to share her opinion. She's open to feedback and does not discount the opinions of others. She is an excellent model of teamwork, kindness, and scholarships. Congratulations, Jenna.
I know she gets that opinion thing from her old man sitting on her right. The next award is the Brother William G. Acker Memorial Medal for Instrumental Music and Scholastic Achievement. Goes to the St. Lawrence senior whose achievements as a member of the St. Lawrence Band and his high academic standard in music and the classroom are recognized. Brother Acker was the original St. Lawrence faculty member who served as band moderator for over 20 years. Present this award is our band director, Mr. Michael Travato.
All right, the William G. Acker Memorial Medal for Instrumental Music and Scholastic Achievement in Music goes to Joshua Martinez, who has served as the backbone of our music program for the last 2 years as our tuba player and as student leader and wind captain for the last year. Never once in the 4 years now that I've actually known this young man has he ever disappointed me. He's always been there on time, splitting his time between cross country and track and everything else in the world that he seems to be busy with, always finding time to get his stuff learned before anybody else, all of his stuff written and ready to go, and has never once again ever missed anything of any importance. So thank you again, Josh, for all that you did for me and for the entire program. We all thank you for that. Thank you.
Great job, Josh. The next award is the Brother Charles D. McKenna Gold Medal for Christian Service. It's given to the senior who does the most service hours during his or her St. Lawrence career. The number of hours and the impact this person has made on those he or she has worked with follows the guidelines set by our founder, Blessed Edmund Rice. Brother McKenna is a former teacher, dean of students, and principal of St. Lawrence. He was also our first bowling coach, who started our service program over 30 years ago. To present this award and the award that follows is Mr. Ed Sajak, our campus minister. Deacon Ed.
Thank you, Principal Muting. In the Gospel of John, chapter 14, Jesus says, "Whoever believes in me will do the works that I do, and will do greater ones than these." How incredible is it to think that we can do things greater than what Jesus did? What a great opportunity and gift that God has given us, an invitation to do his will, to make it our will. The world is in desperate need of people willing to show the love of Christ through their actions. Jesus said the great commandment is to love others. not sentimentally, but tangibly. Every action performed out of kindness, powered by the understanding of Christ and his love, is performing Christian service and is exhibiting Christian values. Both of our nominees today are shining examples of these qualities. This year's recipient of the Award for Christian Service has been involved in numerous activities, both at our school and in the community. In addition to completing the most service hours of anyone in the senior class, our recipient has provided leadership in many areas at our school, serving as a student ambassador, coordinating and leading summer camps, helping at our open houses, providing welcoming assistance at freshman orientations, tutoring numerous students in need of help with their studies, and volunteering at a local hospital. What does the Bible say about service? Jesus tells us time and time again how important it is to serve others as part of leading a Christian life. Our recipient today has demonstrated genuine commitment to others. It is ultimately a commitment to Christ, that she embodies the example that Blessed Edmund gave us, that she has proven time and again by her leadership, proving that how we see others can lead to action and making a positive difference. I am proud to announce the recipient of the 2020 Brother Charles D. McKenna Gold Medal for Christian Service, Morgan Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Ed. And I don't know if your screen froze, but my screen froze, so I'll have to get that full the full rendition in at a later time. Our next award is the Thomas J. Angelo Christian Values Award, be given to the St. Lawrence Senior, who day in and day out personifies what it means to follow the teachings of our founder, Edmund Rice, and his essential elements of always celebrating the value and dignity of each person and nurturing the whole person. Mr. Angelo is a former teacher, First Late President, and Principal of St. Lawrence, who emphasized Christian values during his tenure over 35 years. The first recipient of this was Mr. Joe Mora, our art teacher. So Joe was the first recipient, and our next recipient, we're going to have Deacon Ed announce at this time. Ed?
This year's recipient of the Thomas J. Angelo Christian Values Award is a highly respected member of our senior class. Foundational to our Christian faith is the obligation for believers to serve one another as an expression of their belief in God. Christian values are based on God and the work of Jesus. Worldly values include wealth, power, revenge, vanity, and status. These are the most important things to people who perceive no power or purpose beyond themselves. But the values that are taught in the Bible are often opposite of worldly values. Kindness and respect for all people instead of power. Humility instead of status. Honesty and generosity instead of wealth. Forgiveness instead of revenge. This is a good start in describing our recipient. Christian values promote peace and goodwill among people in accordance with the purpose of God. And the evidence of these values come through deeds and actions. This year's recipient has continually demonstrated the values of hope, righteousness, love, and humility through his actions and leadership, modeling the teachings of our founder, Blessed Edmund Rice, and his essential elements of always celebrating the value and dignity of each person. Our recipient has always been most generous in sharing his time and treasure, not only being available to anyone in need, but also seeking out those in need. This truly is the mark of a leader with Christian values. When you make the effort to notice the needs of others, when you decide to act, when you are determined to make a difference, then you have taken the first step in changing the world in a positive way. I am proud to announce the recipient of the 2020 Thomas J. Angelo Christian Values Award, Alex Gasparo.
Congratulations, Alex. And he said your name right, Gasparo. Okay, all right. Is the old man over there, or is he chewing seeds someplace? All right. Okay. Our next award is the Pope John Paul II Memorial Gold Medal for Theology. It's given to the student whose dedication to his or her faith, both inside and outside the classroom, respect for his or her peers, and recognition by his or her teachers of high moral character and ideals are recognized and admired. Pope John Paul II became a saint in 2013 because of his efforts to work with all faiths. To present the gold medal for theology and Mr. Jim Grannon, senior theology teacher. Coach Grannon.
Hello, fellow Vikings. All right, Jenna, you were not only awarded because of your high GPA in the classroom, but more importantly, you know how important the class was with our discussion questions, and it played an important role of who got involved with those discussion questions, and you always were asking questions, even though sometimes I teased you that you asked too many questions, but it always made the class interesting. Obviously, one of my favorite classes, and you know, you keep asking those questions, you're going to be a great leader. And too bad this Kairos was canceled, because I'm almost positive you would have been a Kairos leader. But continue on. God bless.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Jenna. Next, the Michael Riley Family Gold Medal for Computer Science Award is given to the student who excels in the areas and study of computers. This student deals mostly with software and software systems. This includes their theory, design, development, and application. The award is named for the Riley family, who has been instrumental over the years in making sure St. Lawrence students continue advancements in technology. To present this award is Mr. Brian Wicker, Director of Technology. Mr. Wicker.
Thank you. This senior has repeatedly stepped up and been a huge part of St. Lawrence's success. Being a part of the computer lab assistant and really moving us forward where we need to be. One of the biggest projects that came up was the Windows 7 end of life, which was a big to-do for St. Lawrence. And this student continued to step up and be able to install Windows 10 on PCs all throughout St. Lawrence. Some of the other major achievements included attending just about every open house since I can remember, hanging projectors, assisting with the website, troubleshooting various computer issues with teachers, especially the speakers in the gym, and then obviously assisting with Viking Pride Dinner. Continuously being someone I can lean on for problem solving issues with hardware, and always being someone I could bounce ideas off of. I'm grateful and honored to present the Michael Riley Family Gold Medal for Computer Science to none other than Matthew Dorn.
Congratulations, Matt. The next award is the John R. Lynch Gold Medal for General Excellence. It's presented to the St. Lawrence graduate, or in this case, graduates, with the highest grade point average in our academic ranking. Mr. Lynch taught English at St. Lawrence for over 40 years. He was a renowned St. Lawrence teacher and person who spent countless hours at St. Lawrence helping students excel. This year, I'm proud to say we have 10 recipients of this award. Since I was a student of Mr. Lynch's in the 1970s, I know how proud of each and every one of you he would be. One thing I'd always remember about Mr. Lynch is Mr. Lynch never left St. Lawrence until he had every paper corrected. Sometimes he wouldn't leave until 9 or 10 in the evening. He was a phenomenal English teacher who's still playing his banjo down in Arizona. I did let him know who these recipients are, and just to pass it along, he's very, very proud of all of you. As a matter of fact, they talked to him 2 days ago where it was 102 in Arizona. So he's more than happy. He wish he could be here to present this to you, but he could not. He could not be up here. So this year's recipients, I'm going to say a little bit about all of them. You know who you are. First of all, you've done a phenomenal job on your speeches for graduation. Seniors that are here that are non-valedictorians, you're going to hear some great speeches. Very, very positive things about St. Lawrence and their time here. But Annie Sheng, is Annie here? Did she come on? Is Annie around?
No, she did not.
She did not. Okay, I'll skip Annie. Pete Stock, again, Pete, comes from a phenomenal family, has to follow in footsteps of his brother. Being that middle kid is not always the easiest thing to do, but Pete not only excelled in the classroom, but also playing 2 sports on the athletic field. And to keep your grade point average of a 5.0 or a 5.01 is phenomenal. So congratulations, Pete. Just to let you know, the grade point averages that we have are these the valedictorians are not considered number 1 in their class because we have the valedictorians were chosen in January, okay? Some of you may have a little bit lower grade point average now, or a little bit higher grade point average, but you're all considered our valedictorians, okay? We do not have rankings in our final report cards, okay? But you are considered valedictorian. If you want us to rank you, if your college needs that ranking, we can basically do that and get them that ranking if they'd like. Delaney Smith, where's Delaney? I saw her. Oh, there she is. Delaney came to us 2 years ago from Mother Macaulay, correct? Marist. No, somewhere. Okay, Delaney. 2 years ago to St. Lawrence, and she could have very easily sat in the background and not do anything, just get her last 2 years, and then she would be gone. But she did a phenomenal job, not only in the classroom, but working on our student plays, and became a real leader within the school. I also still owe her a lunch, right? A lunch that she won when we did our spin the wheel. So I won't renege on that, Delaney. We'll make sure you get that. So congratulations. Chris Seropian, again, I always tease him that Angelina is my favorite Seropian, but you know, I've known Chris for a long time. I can remember being at his house for a meet and greet. Oh God, was that 5 or 6 years ago? Got to know his wonderful family and to see how hard Chris works on. At one time was a 3-sport athlete early, but then concentrated on baseball. After that, Chris did a phenomenal job, not only in the classroom, but as a leader within our school. So congratulations, Chris. Mike O'Shea, I'm so glad Mike is here this evening because there was a time I didn't know if Mike was going to get through St. Lawrence, but he did. And I'm so glad that he's here and he's through. He's going to be going to Notre Dame, our first one in a long time. And he did a phenomenal job. We got another award that came up for Mike. And when we get that award, I'm going to kind of share a story with you when he gets that. But Mike, again, did a phenomenal job in the classroom. Not only a leader on and off the field, but has done a fantastic job representing St. Lawrence. So thank you, Mike. PJ Murphy, not easy to be a legacy to come to the school. Not easy to have your grandmother and your aunt. Every morning you walk in, you see them. But PJ always did a phenomenal job, not only in the classroom, but the sports that he was involved with, being part of the St. Lawrence school community, especially his first freshman and sophomore year, always around the school. But I can't thank PJ enough because I know it's not easy to have someone that maybe looking over your shoulder all the time, but always being around. But PJ handled it phenomenally. If you look at his haircut, I tease him. When I first met PJ, he was in 7th or 8th grade, and he said the same haircut, the swoop come over there. So, you know, Mom and Dad aren't going to be able to tell him whatever he does, but PJ's going to Oklahoma State, so he's going to be away, kind of far away from us, but you know he's always welcome back at St. Lawrence. Did a phenomenal job in the classroom and on the field. So congratulations, PJ. Megan Hecker, many know the story. I've known Megan since she's 3 years old. First time I met Megan was at a Mother's Club fashion show with her grandma, and she used to make me cookies. She doesn't make me cookies anymore. And she does mention in her valedictorian speech how I used to let her sell cookies at the basketball games so she could win limousine rides and everything. But I've seen her grow up from 3 years old to 18, 15 years of my tenure. Watch her brothers go through St. Lawrence and getting to know her sisters through various other things. But a phenomenal student, carried on the tradition of the Heckers of being a fine young woman. And I know she's going to be a success whatever she does in college. So congratulations, Meg. Alex Gasparo, again, getting to know him and his family. And there's kind of a connection between Alex's mom is related to my roommate in college. So, you know, we got that Paisan thing going. But not only did Alex do a phenomenal job in the classroom, but with his service, some things that, you know, that I had forgotten over the years with the shoelaces and various other things that Alex has done. His part in student council, working with student council along with Myron, probably one of the best student councils we've had since I've been at St. Lawrence, to make sure that the students always received the best, always fought for the students to get the best. So congratulations, Alex. Ruben, where's Ruben? I never realized that Ruben only lives, about 5 houses from St. Lawrence. And, you know, I know he's done a phenomenal job, not only in the classroom, but on the soccer field. I just really got to know Ruben this year, and I know his passion for athletics and his passion for academics is second to none. He's not afraid to ask questions, not afraid to email if you have something on his mind, and I appreciate that. So congratulations, Ruben. And finally, Morgan Fitzgerald. Morgan, again, a phenomenal job not only in the classroom, but with service hours, a well-rounded individual, a leader on and off the field, whatever she participated in, whether it been volleyball, whether it been basketball, whether it be softball, always involved around the school. And again, like all our girls that are here, with maybe the exception of Delaney, who came from Queen of Peace and dealt with a hard situation, but drove right into St. Lawrence, grasped St. Lawrence, got her family involved in St. Lawrence, and I believe that was a big part of your success. So congratulations, Morgan. Next, our next award is the Brother Thomas B. Regan Gold Medal for Mathematics. It goes to the St. Lawrence student who excels in the area of math. Brother Regan was the first chairperson of the St. Lawrence Math Department, was instrumental in setting up the mathematics curriculum at St. Lawrence in 1960. His innovations in the way that math was taught in high school earned him many honors in the math field. To present this award is Ms. Renee Zarniak, St. Lawrence math teacher. Ms. Zarniak.
Good evening, everybody. It is really great to see all of you. I've missed you very much. And as a math teacher, I know that this subject is not always a fan favorite. And although I was blessed to have many of you excel in this field of mathematics, this recipient not only performed exceptionally well in math, he also demonstrated his curiosity and interest in the math topics we studied, especially in calculus. To me, what made him stand out was his amazement and awe at how math topics flowed together. I will definitely miss his comments of surprise. That's crazy, Ms. Charniak. Every time a concept showed itself to work for a certain problem. And I also am very grateful because he always reminded me to stay hydrated with his water bottle. So that keeps me going with my hydration. So I am proud to award this 2020 Mathematics Award to Alex Gasparo.
Thank you, Ms. Zarniak. Congratulations, Alex. The John Fitzgerald Kennedy Memorial Medal for United States History is given to the St. Lawrence senior who excels in social studies. John F. Kennedy was the 35th President of the United States. He's been recognized as one of our finest presidents whose leadership guided the United States through some unprecedented times in the early 1960s. To present this award is Mr. Ben Dam, St. Lawrence social studies teacher. Mr. Dam.
Thank you, Mr. Mutin, and hello to everyone. The student recipient for this award has shown an incredible effort and passion for social studies throughout his 4 years at St. Lawrence. He embodies the belief that history is more than just names and dates, but a blueprint to add insight and context to the world that can be used to guide us toward a brighter tomorrow. He is an excellent leader and model in the classroom who is always willing to engage, think critically, and be open to learning about different beliefs and perspectives to further our historical understanding. As a teacher, I will not only miss his work ethic in the classroom, but also the wonderful conversations and insights he brought with him each and every day. For all these reasons and more, it is my honor to present the John F. Kennedy Memorial Medal for United States History to Daniel Villalobos. Congratulations, Danny.
Congratulations, Dan. Our next award is the Brother Joseph Enright Memorial Medal for Chemistry. It's awarded to the senior who excels in chemistry. The award is named after Brother Enright, who designed the chemistry lab at St. Lawrence and other Edmund Rice Christian Brothers schools in the United States and Canada. Brother Enright's dedication to the science of chemistry has been recognized by the Edmund Rice Christian Brothers communities since the 1960s. To present this award is Ms. Teresa Stakis, St. Lawrence chemistry teacher. And by the way, Ms. Stakis' grandmother worked with Brother Enright at St. Lawrence in the 1960s. So, Ms. Stakis.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Muting. Good evening to everyone. The student receiving the Brother Joseph Enright Memorial Medal for Chemistry shows extreme dedication in science, specifically chemistry. I taught him both pre-calculus and AP chemistry, and he's always engaged inside and outside of the classroom. He's never afraid to ask questions, take chances, and learn from his mistakes, which are all qualities of a good scientist. I'll always look forward to hearing him say, "Hi, Ms. Stakis, do you know how to make insert chemical here?" He's always eager and willing to learn, especially during those tough AP chemistry labs. He always went in depth, stayed late to get help, and asked those out-of-the-box questions, which always challenged me and kept me on my feet. As a teacher, I appreciated having him in class. Every time he walked in the classroom, he put a smile on my face, even during e-learning. I'll miss his inquisitive mind, curious attitude, and dedication. It is my honor to present this year's Brother Joseph Enright Memorial Medal for Chemistry Award to Marty Tolentino.
Congratulations, Marty. The next award is Brother Walter Youngin's Gold Medal for Spanish. It's awarded to St. Lawrence Senior, whose proficiency in Spanish is recognized by his teacher and peers. Brother Youngins was the first Spanish department chairman at St. Lawrence, instrumental in designing the first language learning lab at St. Lawrence. To present this award is Mrs. Jen Biamonte, instructional coach and Spanish teacher. Ms. Biamonte.
Thank you, Mr. Muting. The student receiving the Spanish award tonight has grown a tremendous amount this year. He is confident, driven for success, and willing to take risks both inside and outside of the classroom. He's opened his heart and his mind to have difficult conversations in an effort to maximize his time in our classroom and expand his leadership skills. In all instances, he has exceeded expectations. The student has encouraged me to grow as an educator by challenging me to view situations through various perspectives while gently reminding me that most learning occurs beyond the limitations of a textbook or set curricula. I'm honored to present the Gold Medal Award for Spanish to Mr. Mike O'Shea, a true gentleman and scholar.
Congratulations, Mike. And the reason I said I had a story about Mike, Mike remembers when we did online Spanish, right, Mike? You want to tell everybody how much you love that?
It was horrible.
It was horrible, okay. And so when Mike got this award, I was so happy where he came from there to this. So congratulations, Mike. Our next award is the Gold Medal for Biology. It goes to the student who is recognized by the teachers for his or her academic proficiency in biology. To present this award is Ms. Carlin Glennon, biology teacher. Ms. Glennon.
Hi, everyone. It's so great to see you today. Congrats on all your awards. This was a tough decision to make because I had so many great biology students this year and throughout the last few years. This senior, during their time at St. Lawrence, is known for their work ethic, and in my time teaching this student, I was always impressed with her seriousness and studious nature. She came so far in biology, and I'm so proud of how well you have done in the class. I am proud to award the 2020 Gold Medal for Biology to Morgan Fitzgerald.
Morgan looks totally surprised. Okay, that's great. Our next award is a Brother John D. Manning Memorial Medal for English. It goes to the student in honor of Brother Manning, the founding principal of St. Lawrence, who also taught English during his inaugural year in Viking land. To present this award is Ms. Carrie Walsh, English teacher at St. Lawrence. Ms. Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Muting, and good evening, everybody. It's good to see everyone. This senior this past year has impressed me over and over again. I have loved hearing him share his perspective of the world through his participation in class discussions, as well as his thoughtfulness and craft in his writing. I chose this student because his work ethic was unmatched in the classroom, and he is definitely a leader. I am proud to present this 2020 English Award to Brett Bazzelli.
Congratulations, Brett. The Gold Medal for Anatomy goes to the student whose dedication to this branch of science concerned with the bodily structure of humans, animals, and other living organisms. To present the award is Mr. Pete Lotus, Director of Strategic Development and Anatomy teacher. Pete Lotus, Coach Lotus.
Good evening, everyone, and it's great to see everyone. Congratulations to all the award winners. Like Ms. Glenn said, this truly was a difficult decision. With so many of the people in this Zoom meeting on this call, all great students. But this person was truly one of the most unique students that I ever had the privilege to teach. I've never met a high school student that loved learning and searched out learning more than this student. I knew each and every day I had to be prepared for Kyle. When planning my lessons, I would often ask myself, will I be able to answer all of Kyle's questions? Because everyone knows he has a lot of them, which is great. There wasn't too many nights that I would come home, open up my email, and didn't have a medical journal or a series of 15 videos that Kyle had sent me, usually disputing something that I said in class. He constantly challenged everything that was done in class, which I truly appreciated. He has such a bright future. I'm pretty confident that he's going to innovate, invent something really soon, probably that helps a whole lot of people, whether it's in the medical field, but most likely has something to do with math. So it's my privilege and honor to award the Anatomy Award to Kyle Kraft.
And one thing Kyle can invent, instead of sending all his emails to Coach Lotus, he needs to notify his mom that there's a senior awards night on Zoom. So make sure Mrs. Kraft that. I'm glad Kyle finally let you see his email. Okay, and our next award is the Mark Scott Gold Medal Award for Art, which goes to the student who has excelled in many art forms over his 4 years. The award is named for Mr. Mark Scott, founder of St. Lawrence Art Program. Presents this award is Mr. Josue Mora, our art teacher. Mr. Mora?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I remember receiving this award. I'm really honored to pass this award along to Antonio Loiza. He is a great student. He's very creative, not only in just in art, but in problem solving. And that's one thing that I try to teach my students, is that art is all about problem solving, whether it's with material or with concepts, or even difficult concepts like social issues. So I'm really proud of his work ethic through the mural that we painted, the first mural in a long time that St. Lawrence has had. His work ethic of having his fellow classmates work together, and also always asking questions about how to do certain things. And so I'm really proud of you, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Antonio. And our final award will be the final one of these awards that we give out here at St. Lawrence. It's the Women of Peace Award, which was instituted by Queen of Peace as a means to recognize a senior girl who not only emulates all the qualities and characteristics that we hope are the core of each and every graduate, but a student who stands out as a woman of peace. Today we are pleased to recognize a young woman who, through her dedication to academics, the community, and her faith, have evidenced her commitment to service, servant leadership, community, and everything that St. Lawrence stands for. To give out this award, our last award for Women of Peace, Ms. Laura Storino.
Today, we recognize a student whose teachers have noted her outstanding dedication to the school community as both obvious and amazing. She lives her life in the service of others. She is a tremendous student, athlete, and teammate, and she exemplifies all of the characteristics of a true leader. She is a model of peace. She represents everything from compassion to loyalty and integrity. She is selfless, gets along with everyone, and is respected by her peers and staff alike. She has a strong work ethic and an amazing personality. She exemplifies all of the qualities of a true woman of peace. She continually lives her truth by becoming a leader on Kairos, being an NHS tutor, always helping others, and showing who she truly is. She is compassionate. We have seen her help others in the classroom, shake hands with opposing basketball teams, and give uplifting words to others when they are down. Everything she does with justice. She wants things to be fair and is always looking out for her peers. She works well with others in the classroom and on the field and court. And last but not least, she always works with the community through service, volunteering at church, and working with kids during the summer day camp. It is for these reasons that we honor Megan Hecker as the 2020 Woman of Peace.
Thank you. Congratulations, Megan. Well, this continues or concludes our senior awards. Just to let you know, it's been a pleasure to know all of you. I hope all of you will be back at St. Lawrence once you get to school next year and find your way back to visit. Again, it's going to be my last year. My countdown began today, 395 days to go. But I hopefully to be around St. Lawrence a long time. And it's a pleasure to have gotten to know all of you. This is our last class that came over from Queen of Peace. And you girls that are representing them here tonight, you did a phenomenal job of acclimating yourself to school. But senior boys that are here tonight, I just want you to know you were a huge reason for that. And if you ask the girls, they'll tell you maybe you didn't talk to them a lot at the beginning, but by the time you got to be seniors, you were all meshed as one. So I'm very, very proud of that, not only with the job that our teachers did during that time, but also very, very proud of what the students and the parents did to make this work. So just one final thing, just remember now, keep checking your emails. We still got prom on now. We still got prom, father, daughter, dance, mother, son. We're still working on that stuff, okay? Well, but there's some things we have to work on. We don't want the Burbank police coming in and arresting all of us. So we're going to do that. And graduation is definitely on for June 28th. So make sure that you're ready for that. And again, if you ever have any questions, just email me and we'll go from there. All right? Everybody have a great evening. And let's one more time, go Vikings. Thank you. We'll see you all.